Okay, let me try my best to get this right. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. Okay, so if you don't know, the UK, England, Sky Sports, Matchroom Boxing has something called the gloves are off. Now, this is for the people who in the United States who don't know about it because it's not aired here in the United States. So the gloves are off is the UK's England's version of HBO Face Off with Max Kellerman, where you'll have one boxer at a table, another boxer on the other side of the table, completely black background, and you will have a moderator or mediator, whatever. In the gloves are off case, it's Sky Sports' Johnny Nelson, former cruiserweight champion, and over here in the United States, it's Max Kellerman. So today, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it to you. I am going to read it to you. Let's hope it's not too long. Pause. Okay, so this is the press release released from Sky Sports. Dillian Whyte and Dereck Chisora had to be separated by security, and filming was halted at Sky Sports Studios this evening as they faced off and the gloves are off ahead of their WBC World Heavyweight title eliminator. So basically, one of these guys, I'm taking a little pause here, one of these guys is going to be close to being the #1 contender for Deontay Wilder's WBC title. Of course, after the winner of Povetkin and Stavern get their shot. So let me continue reading. The gloves are off ahead of their WBC World Heavyweight title eliminator at the Manchester Arena on December the 10th, 2016, live on Sky Sports Box Office in the UK and on Showtime in the US. I hope here in the US we get to see the full card, because Luis Ortiz is going to be on that card too. But Luis Ortiz, if I'm correct, maybe still with HBO, or maybe his fight with Malik Scott, maybe his last fight on HBO. You know, we don't know. So, moving on. The bitter London rivals sat face-to-face for 22 tension-filled minutes of filming with Johnny Nelson, the man in the middle, before Whyte accused Chisora of ducking a clash with Anthony Joshua, lighting the fuse for the pair to leap to their feet, leading to security stepping in, and filming ended. Whyte and Chisora had an earlier head-to-head for their press conference for the Manchester Showdown, and while the pair behaved, there was a sense of unease in the air and boiled over as they renewed hostilities at Sky Sports. Okay, so basically, I didn't want to end up reading all the stuff from the press release because I was going to talk about the press conference. But if you don't know, Dereck Chisora, in my opinion, is, crazy as it may sound, he kind of reminds me of a younger version of Dillian Whyte as far as, Dillian Whyte reminds me of a younger version of Dereck Chisora. If you don't know, Dillian Whyte is 19-1 with 15 KOs. The biggest fight of his career by far was Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua after that went on to go win the IBF Heavyweight Championship of the World. Since then, Dillian Whyte has fought 1, 2, 3 fights this year. Against Bakurin, a fight that I covered, even though he got the KO, didn't look too good. David Allen, but David Allen was still at that point in time, he was undefeated. He didn't look that great. And then Ian Lewison, which, he got the stoppage. And now, fighting Dereck Chisora is going to be the second biggest fight of his career. But really, Dereck Chisora is a cool dude. Dereck Chisora has had plenty. Let me look. Dereck Chisora is 26-6. He's been stopped twice with 18 KOs. And if you look at him, all his big fights, whether it comes to Kubrat Pulev, split decision, somewhat of a close fight. I still had Pulev winning. He lost that fight. Tyson Fury, he was stopped. Tyson Fury beat him left-handed, by the way. Lost to David Haye. That was a big fight back then, And Vitaly Klitschko, he didn't get stopped. Remember when he spit in Vitaly Klitschko's face? And remember the whole thing where Adam Booth got glassed? There was a whole lot of controversy surrounding that fight. The fight with Robert Helenius, where it is said that Robert Helenius was injured, but Robert Helenius has never been the same since that fight. And after watching it multiple times, Dereck Chisora should have won. And then, of course, the loss to Tyson Fury. So looking at his career, what can you say is the biggest win of Dereck Chisora's career? I guess you can say it should have been Robert Helenius, right? But looking elsewhere, you know, okay, Malik Scott. But even there was some controversy surrounding that. You know, with Malik Scott not getting up, you know, maybe getting up too late, whatever the case may be. So Dereck Chisora is how old? What is he, 33? 32. He's got what I call a lot of city miles, a lot of stop-and-go traffic, which is very hard on the engine compared to if you're on the highway, you just go on, the engine hollows out, and you're just moving. To where Dillian Whyte, I can't say, it's hard for me to say that he's improved since the Anthony Joshua fight. I know what you may be thinking, and you know, like I put it this way, I like Dillian Whyte as a person, because you can tell. Excuse my language. I know y'all may not like it, but you know, I try to be myself and I try to relate to all fan bases. You know, you can tell he a hood nigga. You know, he's from Brixton. I've heard many things about Brixton. I have some friends over there, you know, that told me like, yo, you know, he a real dude. But this is a tough fight, man. I'm interested, and truth be told, I'm surprised, and it's not too late for it to happen because there's going to be another press conference, which is the final press conference, and then there's going to be the weigh-in when both of these guys are going to face off. Because Dillian Whyte lately has had this issue, like when he faces off with boxers, you know, they do the head-to-head. He like to touch him and shit. What's up with that, bro? You know, so I was surprised that he didn't do it today. But it's a really, you know, it's a 50-50 fight. But if I was to go for somebody, I'm going to say Dereck Chisora. But who's the better overall boxer? I'm going to say Dillian Whyte. I'm going to say Dillian Whyte. So it's hard to say, young. It's hard to say. But with Dillian Whyte being the better boxer and Dereck Chisora being somewhat of a typecast boxer, you know, what is he? A pressure fighting power puncher with the high guard. He's coming right for you. He needs this win. You know, Dillian Whyte needs to win, but Dereck Chisora needs this win badly. You know, he needs this win. He needs this win. So, there was no, you know, punches thrown. I don't know if they're going to reshoot the gloves are off for these guys, but I doubt it. You know, and if they're smart, if I was the guy, you know, producing this, I would say we're going to keep this. We're going to keep this version, and this is the version we're going to show, because they said it was 22 minutes. So that's enough. Now, I would say that they probably have these guys sitting for about an hour and talking, you know, but they're only about a half an hour anyway. You know, so this is you know, being 22 minutes, you know, and I'm sure they're going to show this, and we're going to get to see, you know, what happened with the confrontation, and it's going to help sell the fight. I was watching, shout out to Michelle Joy Phelps over on Behind the Gloves. I was watching her. You know, don't get me wrong, I like IFL. You know, IFL is, you know, the #1 channel, you know, over there, especially for UK content. But I'm sorry, I'm going to support an American. So I got to watch the press conference, and you can tell that Dillian Whyte was like somewhat annoyed, and Dereck Chisora himself, he was basically saying some shit like, well, you know, I'm not getting no TV money for this fight. You know, I know how to sell fights. I'm just paraphrasing what he said, which we know he does. You know, so he just was like, man, I'm not going to feed into this shit. And supposedly, he's saying he took short money, and Dillian Whyte was trying to clown him for that. But in a way, I think, like, yo, that's a good thing. Remember when he showed up, right, to what was that, Wilder versus Spielkamp, and Charles Martin versus Zara Glazkov. Remember when he showed up looking like he was like Carmen Sandiego, trying to be all incognito? He had this long trench coat on, you know, and maybe some say he was trying to avoid Tyson Fury. I don't know. And then he quietly, you know, called out Charles Martin. Also, it's like, well, why did you turn down the Anthony Joshua fight? You know, but it's boxing politics. I can sit here and explain what I think he did and why it was good for him to do so at that time, you know, but right now I really don't think he deserves a title shot. So it's crazy. Let me go look at the 1 minute. I didn't want this video to run over 10 minutes, but let me go look at the WBC rankings real quick to read off to you the situation that where's it at? That both of these guys are in, because Eddie Hearn has did some maneuvering where the winner of this is, you know, going to be in a mandatory spot. So right now, of course, we have Deontay Wilder, who's the champion. You have Alexander Povetkin and Bermane Stiverne fighting for the interim. Then number 3 is Kubrat Pulev. Number 4, Joseph Parker. But Joseph Parker's fighting for the WBO title, so you can remove him from those rankings. I forgot what Johan Duhaupas is doing. Then number 6 is Andy Ruiz, who is fighting Joseph Parker. You got to remove him. I don't know what's up with Brian Jennings. He's number 7. Number 8, you got Eric Molina, who's fighting Anthony Joshua. Now, these are the WBC rankings that I'm going through. You have Artur Spielka, you know, who's number 9. Gerald Wallace, number 10. Number 11, Carlos Takam. Carlos Takam is fighting somebody who? Remind me again? I'm sorry. I know I'm going to know after this video, so. Now you got number 13 and number 14 fighting in a WBC eliminator. But here's the thing. Dillian Whyte is the WBC International Champion, so he's got one of those underling belts. So I guess this is going to be a situation where the winner of Povetkin versus Stiverne is going to get Wilder. Then the winner of those 3 is going to fight the winner of... There's going to be another WBC eliminator going on. Now, with the rumors of Kubrat Pulev fighting Samuel Peter of all mother... you know, that's a whole different video. But I'm guessing Kubrat Pulev, depending on what route he may take, or Johan Duhaupas, he's a WBC Silver Champion, they may be ordered to fight each other. And then Dereck Chisora and Dillian Whyte would have to fight the winner of Duhaupas and Pulev. Now, of course, we don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm just giving you a scenario. And then the winner of those 4 is going to fight the winner of the 3 between Alexander Povetkin, Bermane Stiverne, and Deontay Wilder. So basically, you know, it's a meaningful fight for the future. But, you know, my heart, I'm not going to lie, you know, my heart wants Dereck Chisora to win. You know, because covering him for all these years I've been covering him now, you know, he's never seemed like to get like a real good break. And he's not a bad guy, don't get me wrong. I pick fighters off of not how, like, I don't have any allegiances to any boxers. I may want certain boxers to win, you know, but I don't just ride with a boxer just because. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not a Dereck Chisora fan. I'm not even a Dillian Whyte fan. But I want Dereck Chisora to win. But I really feel Dillian Whyte, the only way he would lose is if it goes to knockout. See, one of these fighters are going to get knocked out. Or if they don't get knocked out, then it's going to be a nasty, ugly, boring-ass fight. That's what I see. That's what I see. So Dillian Whyte having the height and the reach advantage and being the better boxer, I think that Dereck Chisora is going to have a, you know, like a rough night. And plus, like I said, he's somewhat, you could say somewhat one-dimensional. So, you know, he's going to have to turn up the pressure. Instead of just trying to walk his fighters down with the high guard, walk the guys down he's fighting with the high guard. Come on, you got to do something better than that, you know? So, we'll see. December the 10th, 2016, it's on the undercard of Eric Molina versus Anthony Joshua, or Anthony Joshua versus Eric Molina for the IBF title. And in my personal opinion, this is the fight of the night. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Yes, my microphone is working now, finally. So I still got to do some tweaking. I'm getting all my equipment. I got a lot of shit. You can't really see it, but I got a lot of, you know, equipment. Also, I'm looking for help in the UK. If you like to cover, if you watch boxing and you're knowledgeable, you know, and you have some grasp of technology, if you're sick and tired of your bullshit job and you want to start, you know, doing things, you know, more towards building, you know, for the future, I got some major things going on. What the fuck is this? I got some major things going on. So please, contact me at editor@fightview360.com, and I'll explain everything to you. I got some major things going on. Please subscribe.